Have you ever had that nagging worry, that little voice in the back of your mind, wondering which of your daily habits might be quietly raising your risk of dementia? So many of us have been led to believe that serious memory loss is just an unlucky part of getting older, a roll of the dice we can't control. But what if I told you that the power to protect your mind is more in your hands than you might think? The truth is, certain everyday routines, things we do without a second thought, could be setting you up for trouble long before the first real sign shows up. In this video, I'm going to share the 6 daily habits that most people never realize are linked to dementia and explain why it's so important to address them now, before it's too late. If you or someone you care about is getting up in years, this is a conversation we can't afford to ignore. I'll break down each habit, explain the real science behind how it affects your brain in simple terms, and give you practical, gentle tips to protect your memory and independence for as long as possible. These aren't just theories. These are the patterns that experts see in seniors across the country, and they can make all the difference in the kind of future you have. Please, stay with me until the end, because you'll discover how these hidden habits don't just shape your mind, but can actually help determine the kind of aging journey you have ahead. Whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, every minute you spend with me today could help you safeguard your brain for years to come. Now, let's get started. Number 1, chronic sleep deprivation, or just not getting enough good sleep. Let's be honest, how many of us have shrugged off a few sleepless nights, thinking it's just a normal part of aging? But chronic sleep deprivation is one of the most dangerous habits, silently chipping away at your brain health. Consistently poor sleep has a direct, scientifically proven link to memory problems and dementia. It's not just about feeling a little groggy in the morning. Here's what's really happening. When you're in a deep restorative sleep, your brain goes into cleanup mode. It has a remarkable system that flushes out toxins that build up during the day, including the very proteins that are associated with Alzheimer's disease. When you don't get enough deep sleep, that cleaning crew never gets a chance to do its job. Imagine waking up tired for days, then weeks, then months on end. Over time, your concentration slips. You misplace your keys more often, or you find it harder to recall a neighbor's name. It's not your imagination. During deep sleep, the brain also repairs itself and organizes memories. Without it, small memory lapses can become bigger ones, and your risk of cognitive decline shoots up. Take the story of George, age 74. He used to pride himself on never needing more than 5 hours of sleep a night. He saw it as a sign of toughness. He'd stay up late reading or watching television, convinced he was just wired that way. But over time, George's family noticed he was repeating stories, forgetting appointments, and struggling to keep up with conversations. After a frank and loving talk with his doctor, he began to treat his sleep like a prescription. He created a calming routine, no screens before bed, a dark, quiet room, and aimed for a full night's rest. Within weeks, his focus improved, and he said it felt like a fog was finally starting to lift. The bottom line is that skimping on sleep is far from harmless. Your brain needs 7 to 8 hours of quality rest each night to stay sharp. If you have trouble falling or staying asleep, please talk to your doctor. Sometimes, simple changes can make all the difference. Your memory is worth protecting, and good sleep is one of your greatest superpowers. Number 2, a sedentary lifestyle, the comfort trap of sitting still. A sedentary lifestyle, spending most of your days sitting down, is another daily habit that quietly sets the stage for dementia. You might think that staying physically active is just about keeping your body in shape, but it's every bit as important for your brain. Regular movement increases blood flow, which is like delivering a fresh, oxygen-rich meal to your brain cells. It delivers nutrients that help your mind stay alert, focused, and resilient. Without it, the parts of your brain that are linked to memory and reasoning can actually start to shrink over time. Think about how easy it is to fall into a routine of sitting for hours, especially after retirement. Maybe you enjoy reading, doing puzzles, or chatting with friends on the phone. But slowly, physical activity slips further and further down the list. The effects are subtle at first. A little more stiffness, getting winded walking up the stairs. But over the years, the risk of memory loss increases, with every day spent mostly sitting still. Let's talk about Betty, who's 72. She loved watching her classic movies. After her husband passed away, the house felt so quiet, and the couch became a safe haven. She found herself spending most of the day there. Her energy plummeted, and her memory started slipping, too. Betty's daughter gently suggested she tried joining a walking club at the local senior center. It wasn't easy at first, but just that short daily stroll brought back her spark. She felt sharper, more social, and found a new joy in a simple routine that got her moving. The science is clear. Regular physical activity protects your brain. This isn't about running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It's about waging a gentle war against a chair. Walking, stretching, gardening, or even a gentle exercise class can make a huge difference. Even 30 minutes of movement most days can change how you think and feel. Your brain thrives on activity, and staying in motion is one of the best ways to defend your memory for the long haul. If this is resonating with you, I'd love to know you're here with me. Just drop a 2 in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Your support truly helps us keep making content that matters. Number 3, poor dietary choices, forgetting to feed your brain. Poor dietary choices are another daily habit, quietly fueling dementia risk. Many of us know that what we eat affects our heart, but few realize just how deeply it shapes our mind. A diet high in processed foods, added sugars, unhealthy fats, and salt can damage the tiny, delicate blood vessels in your brain. This leads to inflammation, sluggish circulation, and eventually serious problems with memory and focus. Think of the typical American breakfast: a sweet pastry, white bread toast with jam, or a bowl of sugary cereal. Over time, these habits chip away at your brain's defenses. Studies consistently show that diets lacking in leafy greens, colorful vegetables, berries, fish, and whole grains are closely tied to higher rates of dementia. On the flip side, nutrient-rich Mediterranean-style meals can help protect memory and clarity for years. Let's take a look at Sam, who turned 80 last year. He had always been a man of convenience and reached for easy snacks, crackers, chips, and frozen dinners. But he started noticing his mind felt cloudier and his energy would dip more often. After a chat with his doctor, Sam made some simple changes. He started adding a handful of spinach to his lunch sandwich, swapping his white bread for whole grain, and reaching for a handful of walnuts instead of cookies in the afternoon. The difference was remarkable. He felt more focused and began recalling details from conversations that used to slip away. This isn't about following a strict, joyless diet. The key is to slowly shift your habits toward more whole, real foods. Your brain craves real nourishment. Small, steady improvements matter most. If you're unsure where to start, try adding just one new healthy food to your meals each week. Remember, the choices you make at each meal can strengthen your mind and give you a fighting chance against dementia, one bite at a time. Number 4, social isolation, the quiet danger of loneliness. Social isolation, the habit of withdrawing from friends, family, and meaningful connection, is one of the most silent but powerful drivers of dementia risk. Even if you enjoy your solitude or think of yourself as a homebody, long stretches without real conversation, shared laughter, or the feeling of being truly seen can gradually wear away at your mental sharpness. Our brains are wired for connection. Regular interaction is like a workout for your memory, language, and reasoning skills. It's easy for older adults to fall into isolation, especially after retirement, the loss of spouse, or when getting around becomes a challenge. At first, it seems harmless, but over time, the quiet can deepen, leaving your mind overstimulated and your mood low. Consider Dorothy, 77, who moved to a new apartment after her husband passed. She loved her privacy, but soon found she was going days without seeing anyone. The silence started to feel heavy. Dorothy's daughter encouraged her to join a virtual book club and sign up for a weekly senior coffee hour. She was surprised at how quickly her mood brightened and her mind felt sharper. Social interaction is more than just pleasant company. It's essential brain food. Conversations and group activities keep your neural pathways strong. If getting out is tough, try phone calls or video chats. If you're shy, start small. Don't wait for loneliness to sneak up on you. Make regular connection a habit, just like brushing your teeth. These small steps are one of the most powerful defenses you have against dementia. If you're still watching and finding this helpful, would you mind commenting with a 4 below? And a gentle reminder to subscribe so we can continue this journey together. Number 5, unmanaged chronic stress, the alarm bell that never turns off. Unmanaged chronic stress is another daily habit that can quietly open the door to dementia. Most people think of stress as something that just makes you feel tense or irritable. But the reality is that persistent stress, day in and day out, actually changes the structure and chemistry of your brain. Imagine an alarm bell in your body that's always on, even at a low level. That's chronic stress. It floods your system with the stress hormone cortisol. High levels of cortisol can damage the areas of your brain responsible for memory and decision-making. Over time, it makes it harder to focus, recall information, or learn new things. It's easy for seniors to brush off stress as just a part of life, especially when coping with health problems or financial worries. But when left unchecked, it erodes your cognitive health. Let's look at Frank, age 81. He was a caretaker for his wife and always put on a brave face. He never took a break. Over the months, he found himself snapping at loved ones, forgetting appointments, and losing interest in his favorite hobbies. A social worker suggested he try some simple mindfulness exercises and regular walks in the park. Frank resisted at first, thinking it was silly, but soon found his mind was calmer, his sleep improved, and his memory started to bounce back. Managing stress doesn't mean eliminating every challenge. It means learning how to respond more gently to what you can't control. This might be talking with a friend, practicing gentle movement, or even just pausing for a few deep breaths. Your emotional well-being is just as vital to dementia prevention as your physical health. Number 6, ignoring mental stimulation when use it or lose it is real. Ignoring mental stimulation, the habit of letting your mind drift without challenge or novelty, can quietly speed up cognitive decline. Many people assume that once formal schooling is over, it's fine to stick with the same old routines. But just like a muscle, your brain needs variety and new experiences to stay strong. Think of your memory, reasoning, and creativity as skills you have to keep using to avoid losing. Without regular workouts, learning something new, tackling a fresh puzzle, or mastering a hobby, your brain's connections can start to fade. Take the example of Helen, who's 75. After she retired from volunteering at the library, she noticed she was feeling more forgetful. Instead of just accepting it, she signed up for an online art class, started learning a few words of Spanish, and began playing new board games with her grandkids. Helen found that her mind felt sharper, her mood lifted, and she felt younger at heart. Mental stimulation doesn't have to mean going back to school. It's about mixing things up. Read a different kind of book. Explore a new walking route. Pick up a skill you've always wanted to try. Your brain thrives on novelty, and every new challenge is a powerful defense against dementia. The key is to stay curious. If you're still with me, thank you. Please comment 6 below to let me know. Your engagement means so much. Final thoughts. As we wrap up, take a quiet moment to think about which of these 6 daily habits you might see in your own life. Were there any that surprised you? Dementia isn't just a result of fate or genetics. Your daily choices play a huge role. By prioritizing sleep, movement, nourishing food, social connection, stress management, and mental stimulation, you're actively building a stronger, more resilient brain. Remember, it is never too late to make a change. This isn't a checklist of failures. It's a map of opportunities. Even small steps, taken day after day, add up to powerful protection for your mind. Be kind to yourself on this journey. Your brain is a precious gift, and it deserves all the care, curiosity, and kindness you can offer. Thank you for joining me today. I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today or a small change you plan to make. Your thoughts and stories give all of us so much encouragement. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.